I think the biggest problem that I've seen with founders is they fall madly in love with the solution before they understand the problem. This is what led me to essentially start my own tech company in China. So I moved back to China, started that company. But that data love, that the first thing I do when I join a customer now is I say, let me into your data set. I want to go and play. I came at it from the UN and government departments. So I just loved that you could get to work and ship something really quickly and talk to customers actually, rather than, have a data set from Kyrgyzstan's UNICEF department, and then just look at it at a population size. Since 2.5 years ago, I've been working as a fractional CPO, which essentially means that I'm parachuted into companies that aren't performing great. I do an audit. I understand what's working, what isn't working, and then get to work making sure that everyone's aligned, the processes are there to support, and then everyone is coached to be their best self. If you wanted to sell your tech products to Chinese customers and overseas, they need to be built from scratch. So that was the sort of the problem space that we were in. Now, luckily, we identified that problem space really quickly. And so we were essentially the people that covered and solved for that. And we were in a remarkable position where people were lining up to work with us, and we were happy to wait 6 months to have their solutions, because we solved for their specific pain. Because the number of times that I've gotten products out of saying, well, why is that person there buying that? Or why are 10 people over there buying that? And then interviewing them and you go, wow, they've discovered a whole new use case for a product. And then suddenly that becomes 30% of the revenue. Obviously, we're not asking them what to build. What we're doing is we're saying, when you go to bed, what runs through your head? As a business owner, so I work with a lot of B2B customers. As a business owner, what is the thing that just, the last week, just tell me, what have you thought about right before you fell asleep? And then they go, well, I don't know about my cash flow and whether or not I should be, doing X, Y, and Z. So in my head, I'm thinking, scenario planning could be interesting, or, budget controls, or reminders, or la. So I solutionize in my head and then bring that to engineers and product designers so we can solutionize together. But the thing that I understand is, what problem are we solving for these customers? Everything is a hypothesis until we've launched V4 and we clearly have data, objective data telling us that this is the solution that solved the problem that we've initially set out to solve. I've interviewed thousands of product designers, managers, and engineers in my career, especially as a fractional CPO. And when I ask product designers what biases come into the interview process, none of them can go beyond not leading asking questions. If I were to say, out of every single thing that I've learned over the last 2.5 years working with all these companies as a fractional CPO, the core determinant of success of a company or a person on an individual level